Hi guys, Señor Moore coming at you with capítulo 10.2, vocabulario y gramática. Continuing and ending a story, and just a little bit of just introductory information regarding science fiction and fairy tales and some of the random vocab that you might see with that. Of course, this is only the beginning, not even close to an end or even a middle in terms of the amount of specific vocab that you would use in these situations, but it's just a smattering just to give you a few baseline things that you can work with, all right? So I'm going to go through the pronunciations and definitions very quickly and show you our one slide. It has more to do with storytelling. Hopefully you recall last chapter in 10.1 we were talking about using the imperfect tense, and then all of a sudden some sort of interrupting action occurs, which requires the use of the preterit tense. So you're scene setting and describing ongoing things with the imperfect, and all of a sudden preterit tenses. Well, we're going to just sort of build on that a little bit today and take it from there. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started here. So looking at some of your current vocab, al final is finally. Así fue que is so that's how. A lot of these are going to be sentence fragments, so obviously there would be some sort of continuation of the sentence afterwards. So they're just little bits and pieces to either start or end sentences, okay? De repente is all of the sudden. De repente. De todos modos is anyway, so de todos modos. En fin is finally. Kind of has the word fine already in it, right? So fin you might see at the end of like a European film from like the 70s and 80s, right? Fin means end. So en fin is finally. Enseguida is straight away or right away. Entonces means then. As in entonces fui al mercado. Then I went to the market. Fue cuando, it was when. Fue cuando. Fue cuando ella me dijo un ladrón. It was when she called me a thief. Cuando me enojé, when I became angry, or something like that. Fue cuando, it was when. Por eso, that's why. Y todo salió bien. Todo salió, everything went okay. Todo salió bien. It turned out okay. Okay. Some more specific vocab here. A lot of this I think you could probably figure out because it's both, it's a cognate. It's a word that looks the same in both English and Spanish. Some of these, like ciencia ficción, hopefully you recognize as science fiction. La estrella is a star. Galaxia, galaxy. La nave espacial, the spaceship. La nave espacial. Oh, whoops. I apologize for this. It's not French here, right? It's el ovni. Okay, so el ovni, great one, is the word for UFO. Obviously, OVNI doesn't look like UFO, right? So here's what it stands for. Objeto visto ni identificado. Object seen, not identified. So instead of saying unidentified flying object or UFO, they say ovni, objeto visto ni identificado. So ovni is the equivalent to UFO. Kind of interesting. El planeta, of course, is a planet, right? Weird that it ends in an A. So it's feminine, but it's masculine. So sort of weird, right? It is considered a masculine word, even though it ends in an A. Kind of like la radio. Looks like it should be masculine, but in this case, it's feminine. Those are the weird, a few weird exceptions to our rule, right? Some fairy tale vocabulary here. Cuentos de hadas is the word for fairy tales. Like el cuento is like an account of or a story. De hadas, hadas are fairies. So el enano or la enana are dwarves. El enano or la enana. Again, make sure we're on the same page here. Okay, la hada madrina is a fairy godmother. So a madrina is a godmother. Hada is a fairy, so hada madrina is a fairy godmother. El ladrón is a thief. Ladrona is also a thief, but the feminine form of it, I suppose it could have been a /a, the thiefress or something like that. La princesa, of course, princess, and el príncipe is the word for prince. So those are some of the associated vocabulary items. Okay, let's go ahead and take a look very quickly at our one item here. There we go. Very fancy. Okay, continuing and ending stories, just a little bit more with preterite and imperfect, right? So I apologize, I'm in the way of some of these words. So what I'll do is I'll read down a little bit and then I'll move myself up, okay? So anyways, when telling a story, use both the preterite and imperfect tenses. We kind of have already started doing that. We worked on it last week. Use the imperfect tense to set the scene by telling what was going on and to describe people, places, moods, situations. Like un día había mucha niebla. One day there was a lot of fog, or it was very foggy. When you're ready to tell that something happened in the story, use an expression such as, I'll move myself up here, such as un día, or de repente, or fue cuando, plus some sort of a verb in the preterite tense, right? So this is some current vocab. That's why some of that vocabulary was given to you, so that you can introduce some sort of interrupting or beginning action. Item number 3, continue your story with expressions like entonces, luego, y después, like then or later on or after that. Again, plus the preterite tense because you're talking about events or series of events, right? And then for number 4, I'll try to move this down for you a little bit. There we go. End the story with the preterite tense to how things came out. Y todos vivieron felizmente. Everyone lived happily, okay? There's an older Spanish fairy tale that's kind of interesting. It's vivieron felices y comieron perdices. They were happy and ate partridge eggs. So for some reason, they equate the idea of eating partridge eggs to being very, very happy. So interesting, weird stuff in Spanish. That's your knowledge for the day. Anyways, I hope this is helpful for you. We're getting close to the end of the marking period, and we're not going to do an extra credit for this item. I'll have some other extra credit opportunities available through us, either through Quizlet Live or through Kahoot or some in-class procedural things. So we're not getting rid of all extra credit, just not one in the screencast this week, okay? Hope all is well. Ciao, hasta luego, y adios.